Yeah, hi there, and welcome back. So let us continue with our lesson. And in the previous, we have already configured our project, so we still have some more dependencies that we need to set up. So let's go and check over here. So before we have already created a Firebase Android project, and we also have added to the project level the build.gradle file that we have added a Google.maven repositories. And if you go and check that one, and you can see in over here. So we have already added that Google Maven repository, and that's good. And next step is to add the dependencies. So add the dependencies for the MLKit Android libraries to your module or the app level. So in the module, the app level, the Gradle file, we need to add this one. So just copy this one and copy all of this, and we'll go back to the Android project. And this time we need to go to the app level module app, and over here we need to add that one. Just add it over here and synchronize that one. And let's go back over there, and over here we have optional but recommended, and configure your app to automatically download the ML model to the device after you have your app is installed from the Play Store. So what does it actually mean is that whenever you user download the app from the Play Store, it will automatically download all of the required ML model. So here we need to make use of the model file to do the all of the like ML or machine learning always use the model. So for that it has to download something. So if you are not using a cloud version, so we are not using a cloud version for you, we will be downloading locally. So for that, we can add this one. So if you add this one, whenever user download the app from the Play Store, the first time it will automatically download all of the required model. So just go back to the project and add to the manifest and here. So just add it over here. And what we will do is we will go back to the console over here. And if you do not enable or the install time model download, so which means that if it doesn't put this meta tag in our the manifest file, then the model will be downloaded first time you run the detector. So if it doesn't provide this in our manifest file, then the model will be downloaded first time we run our detector. And other thing is that the configuration, the configure for the face detector. So if you want to configure, so we can make use of the Firebase Vision Face Detector option to set all of the required options available over here. And the performance mode, by default it is only fast, or which is by default, and we have another one which is of accurate. So you can see that if you are favor of the speed, then you use a fast, and if you are favor of the accuracy, then we make use of the accurate, depend on your requirement. And we have the detect the landmarks over here, and by default we don't have a landmarks enabled, and we can enable the landmarks in the option. And when we attempt to enable this one, what it does is it can attempt to check for the ears, eye, nose, right, mouth, and so on. So it will try to detect all of the landmark that we have in our faces. And also for the detect the counters, and this by default is no counters, and if you want to enable, we can set as all counters. These counters will have us to detect on the detect counters in the facial feature, and something if you go down and check the image, something over like this, so the dot all over your face, this can be helped by that counters. And whether to detect the counters on the facial, the counters are detected only on the most prominent faces. So this will be not all. If you have a multiple image, then it's not going to work. So make sure you do it on a single face image. And the classify of the faces, so whether you want to classify, by default is no classification enabled. We can enable it the classification, whether or not you classify the face categories such as smiling, or whether the eye is open and the closed. So all of this can be done through the classification. And we have another one, a minimum face size, so by default is 0.1f, and the enable face tracking, so the by default is false. If you want to set it, you can set it to true. Whether or not to assign the face ID, which can be used to track the face across the images. And not that when counter detection is enabled, only one face is detected. So face tracking doesn't produce a useful results. So whenever you have enabled the counters, so just disable this one, face tracking, because only one face tracking, only it can track only one face at a time. So the next step is to write some code and make use of the ML kit that we have made use, face detect ML kit. So let's go back to the project over here, Analyze Studio, and let us go to the project, and we have configured everything, and let us try to check everything that's correctly. So let us try to run the application and make sure we don't have any error. And next thing is we need to write some of the code, and we should add some of the image and also the button. So I think we'll do it in the next lecture. So on this lecture we have set up the Gradle build. So let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.